Hi, today I'm going to share with you the Mahabharat for South Asia. So Mahabharat is the real history for South Asia. Uh, all the South Asian countries are connected to each other through the common history of Mahabharat. Most of the times the invaders to India, like Muslims, people who follow Islam, Christianity through British Empire, they have been invaders to South Asia. And but the real identity, if you look at the DNA for all South Asians, whether they are Muslims or Christians or, Hindus, Buddhists, they're all connected together. Sikh, all these different faiths we have from South Asia. And South Asia is actually the cradle of humanity. You can see the world's largest faiths like Hinduism, Buddhism, they all originated from South Asia, and they are the most they have the most commonsensical, intelligent, and peaceful coexistence ever in the world history. Uh, the outsiders such as Islam and Christianity, they are the ones who plundered in mostly South Asia. But if you look at the internally, there used to be fights, but not looting, not raping of women, nothing like that. It used to be fight between kings over lands, but never there was a plunder or loot. So Mahabharat, why I'm going to Mahabharat is one of my favorite books, and it teaches you history of the land through its sages. Through Mahabharat, you learn wisdom, you learn etiquettes, you learn manners, you have culture, and Mahabharat also speaks to you how to live your life better every day. So Mahabharat I have been using for my own business as well. I've been using for educating my children, and it is a very big unifying force. The Mahabharat will bring into perspective the original history of this entire planet Earth. Who were the original kings before all the new faiths came up? Christianity, Islam, Judaism. These are all newer faiths as compared to Hinduism. So Mahabharat spans over the entire Asia, you can say, goes to Europe, goes to Americas, and strictly as per the texts. So my attempt is to present Mahabharat for South Asia. So how Mahabharat is useful to you, you need to see that for yourself. Like for example, Mahabharat speaks about kings and historical references to places which are even today existing. The names may have changed. Due to the Islamic conquest of India, the Hindus were forced to convert into Muslims, and so names have changed. Like it has become Pakistan, it has become Bangladesh, or it has become Afghanistan or Iran, but or Iraq also, because the Pandu's second queen was from Madhya Pradesh, which is most today's Iraq. So if you look at the whole perspective, then the Mahabharat covers this entire region. It is the original history of the land before it was written by the conquests. Some of you may not know that Islam conquered Persia, which was known as Parshvadesh. Iraq and Iran were together one country, was known as Parshvadesh in Mahabharat. Then Madra, which is Shalvadesh, was Lebanon, and today's Israel and Syria and all those countries were under Madra Desh. So this is the land. And then if you go east, from Magad to the east, it was the Jarasandh's country. He almost owned 25% of land. And if you look at the European countries, it was owned by the Baghdad, Raja Baghdad, which is again a king which was ruling in that part, and which are technically known as Yavanadipati Bangladesh. So we have all this history written over there. And if you calculate chronologically, then you'll come to know that Mahabharat gives you a perspective of interconnectedness. Why the Middle Eastern people, if you remove their religion, Islam, but they're culturally very similar to Hindus, very similar. Hinduism is the oldest faith on the planet. Everybody knows that, everyone accepts that. But why Iranians and Iraqis and Egyptians, they're all very similar to Hindus. Even the South Americans, very similar to Hindus. If you remove their religion, like Islam you remove or Christianity you remove what they follow, they're just like Hindus. Hindus are the people of the land. And the artificial impositions on their minds through these faiths, acquired faiths, have made them, have caused them some kind of identity crisis. Because you can see that not a single land which was conquered by Islam is peaceful today. Because culturally they are different. Culturally they are like Hindus. But faith has been imposed on them. So they want to be Islamic, but culturally they are different. They can't accept the stringent rules of Islam. So it's very unstable societies. The society inherently is unstable because they lack the identity. So with this series of mine, Mahabharat series, I want to reconnect their identities to Mahabharat. The Mahabharat is one unifying force for the entire world. Because the history, Vyasdev says, the history that doesn't have connection with Mahabharat is fake. And nowadays we talk about fake news. So here we talk about fake history. A lot of history has been made up. A lot of religious books have been written by man. A man cannot write religious books. Religious book, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. The religious books have to come from God himself. And Vedas, through Vyasdev, is that kind of book. So we have to now come back to our roots in this information age, come back to the roots by connecting ourselves, reconnecting ourselves to Mahabharat. What Mahabharat will teach you is, number one, gives you an identity, gives you a connection with God in person, and also it brings you culture, which everybody wants. So stay tuned for my next part, where I am going to cover the first and the second chapters of Mahabharat, and it will be purely from historical account, so that you and I can learn.